minutes. About there we go.
You're on the punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez, and we got a lot of fights to talk about this weekend.
We do, we do.
Too
Uh,
many. I don't know if you caught any of the ESPN ones. I did not. And oh shit, we got a lot of fights to talk about this weekend. Yeah, I did not catch any on the ESPN though.
no, I caught some of them. I caught a lot of them, but I hate when they do that. I hate when they over fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is, I got the what do you call it? The TV, but I watched. It comes in so good on my Fire Stick. The Zone app,
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's just a lot more clearer than watching it. And so I wasn't going to keep switching out HM1 to HM2 and
Yeah.
back and forth. That's a pain in the ass.
Well, yeah, UFC too last night, right?
Huh?
UFC was on last night too, right?
Yeah, but you had some fights on ESPN too.
Yeah. Hey, Darren, what's up? Darren Shabbat said, "What's up, guys?" Yeah.
Square Table Degenerates podcast said, "What's up, fellas? How you doing? Thanks for tuning in."
Hey, Brandon, thank you. It's going good, Brandon. Brandon Livingston, that's how it's going, Kelly.
It's going good. Going
So
good.
there were some surprises in the fights last night. I didn't realize how good. Well, I want to get into Lara last night. What about the Lara fight? No one saw that coming, did they? Lara knocking out Josh Warrington.
I seen the highlights of that, man. That was brutal. It was a nice shot.
I don't think there's a better fan base in the world than UK at high fighters. That is what there's. That's the whole purpose of life fighters. You know, the UK that's, let's face it, garbage. They will hype him till the end like he's the greatest thing ever. And when they lose, they act confused as to why they got beat, right?
Yeah. I tell you what, though. I mean, listen, I don't get mad at them for it.
I don't either. But they do. They look confused for why they lost. Like, well, he's never
The
fought out.
UK fans are and I hate to say it, those are that's what a fan is.
Yeah.
Those are fans. You know what I mean? You don't have that here,
I,
unfortunately.
I'm like, I tell the UK guys, look, you've never fought out of country. They've never fought out of country their entire life. What do you expect to happen when they move up in competition against guys that can fight?
Yeah.
Nicker Knees Adams from Overshite Street or whatever the fuck. That's not showing me anything. I want them to fight somebody. And when they do, this is the thing. And then it's the same story. Boxing's boxing's dirty. You know what I mean? It's all this other stuff.
Yeah, they've always done that, though. I mean, that's how it is. It's
True.
I mean, it is a little annoying. Like, don't get me wrong. So what I said earlier was they are true fans. I mean, those are boxing fans, and they take care of their fighters. When I say that, it's not knocking the fans here in the United States, but everybody here, as we see all over social media, nobody's good enough. Everybody's overrated. This person didn't do this. This guy didn't do that. Over there, they stay behind their guys. But does it get a little annoying when they're not nowhere near as good as what they're made out to be? Yeah.
Yeah. Frank is saying the guy on the left needs a throat lozenge and he'll beat me up. Frank, far buddy, it ain't ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
I couldn't even beat you up out of mercy. It'd be bad. You know what those mercy ass kickings?
Yeah, Uncle Sham says Jojo didn't come close to making weight.
No,
What was he over? 2 pounds or
two,
4 pounds? I heard.
two, 3 pounds, three, I think.
I said
Three.
maybe I heard 4, and he came back. He made it 2 hours later though. He made it.
No, no, he did not. He made the 10 pound. No, he made the 10 pound, the 10% cut, not that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay,
No, right
right.
on.
Okay.
He didn't make the limit, but he made that 10% rule where he wasn't over that.
Yeah, I misheard it. Then on it. That's why what they were saying that he did
Yeah,
come and
because
make it under that though. So
he would have kept the title if that was the case.
yeah.
You too, Frank. What's up, Tommy? Clarence McLean. What's up, James and Kelly? How are you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I'm starting to come around a little bit. How about you, Kelly? How you doing?
I'm great. Super. Thanks for asking.
Esteban is in Brazil right now, but he's here right now with the show. So
Yeah, Uncle Shan said Jojo was over 3 pounds overweight. Kelly won't let you weight cut unless you're within 2 pounds.
yep.
Um, Fat Lazy Furl said, Kelly, now that you gained some pounds, if you came back in an exhibition match, do you think you'll have more KO power in your new weight? I don't know. I'd have heavier hands. I don't know if I'd have that snap and torque at 160, but I don't know. We can find out. I have a couple people on the list right now that I'd like to lay this right hand on.
Man, I'm telling you.
But those were some good fights last night. We could get into it. Me and you haven't. I think this is the first time in a while that we didn't talk about the main event and what we thought.
What's that?
I said I think this is the first time in a while that we haven't talked about a main event. Until the show. Like,
Yeah, we have.
I'm curious to see how you had it.
I honestly, I had JoJo up by a round or two. I think I had him by a round or two. I thought I scored for JoJo heavier punches more than I did the 3 to 5 set, a 5 second flurries or something adding somewhere, and then he was moving out of the way. I was going for JoJo's punches because I thought JoJo was landing the heavier stuff, the more telling stuff. So I kind of went with more. I scored towards that a little more. I know I can be anybody else can score different. I'm not going to argue with it. Like
Yeah,
you scored for him, you have all the right in the world to. He fought a great fight. I just gave it to JoJo by 1 or 2 rounds.
yeah. See, I thought the other guy. I thought he worked great, and in the middle rounds, he picked up a lot of them, and even later, I had him by a round or two. But at the same time, you're right. It's one of them fights where if you had JoJo winning the fight by a round or two, I can honestly not have an argument against that. You know what I mean? It was I think that was probably the best possible outcome of a great fight, and I would like to see the rematch of that fight. It was a good fight. A draw, I think, is really fair. So,
Frank said, "I'll fuck you up, Kelly. Stop ducking Charlie Z."
that was stopped. Charlie Z.
Yeah, no. Frank says for you to. Frank says he's gonna fuck you up and stop ducking Charlie Z.
Uh, who's that?
Frank Johnson.
Oh, oh shit. He's back, huh?
Yeah, he's back.
Um,
He probably got.
Barrio, Barrio said, "And what do you think of MMA striking? Who is good? Who could improve?" Yeah,
Um,
we've seen the Usman Burns fight last night. Did you happen to catch any of the UFC fights?
I didn't. I did. I was so tired after boxing last night. I didn't want to. I didn't want to do worse.
Hey, I wanted to kind of catch them. I'm not going to lie to you. Um, as a striker, I mean, there's a couple guys. I have not been up on it that much recently, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess some of your guys, if Nate Diaz, I think he's still relevant. I see him talking a lot on Instagram about wanting to fight. So I would say he's a pretty good striker.
I think there's some great makers, and I think there are. I think both Diaz brothers. I think T.J. Dillon will become better.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
because TJ
Frank,
a lot of boxing.
what?
TJ's been doing a lot of boxing with
Yeah,
Rock.
Ngannou's pretty good. Francis Ngannou's a monster, and uh, the kid from Cleveland, champion. Your buddy Kelly,
Ooh, the
Stipe,
yeah, Steve A.
Stipe. That's your buddy. He's
Whatever.
road here. He's a good boxer.
Yeah, you can use his hands. Hey, we got YouTube, or yeah, the YouTube's blown up a little bit. Uncle Shan said Joe Smith's fight got called off because opponent positive for COVID. How many boxers that tested positive ended up dying? I don't know.
I get.
I don't think anybody. I know a football player did. Uncle Sham said featherweight champ Warrington got wrecked by unknown Mexican and his jaw broke. Eardrum busted in a KO loss.
R was known.
Yeah, that dude could fight, man.
You see, Kelly, we watched him fight on the We watched him fight a couple of years ago on the on fuck Errol Spence and Ocampo undercard. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
We watched him fight a couple of years ago. I knew that
Yeah,
motherfucker.
dude could fight. Um, Jim Theo says Big fan here. Watching from the UK. It's midnight here. Don't know how long I will watch. Usually watch show in morning our time. Agree with you, Warrington. When our guys get matched proper, they struggle.
You know what? I don't think it's that. So you, like I said, they Kelly both admit the UK has the best fans in the world. It's out there. If they pay for the fights, they support their fighters. My thing is this: I think they want to get a title so bad they jump right into fights. Their management puts them right into fights without really studying anybody. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know what though, and again, being on that, listen, it's a business part too, and there's money to be made, and the
Yeah,
fans go and they spend the money, they back these fighters, even if they have a loss or two, it's not over. They're behind them,
yeah.
and that's a big difference. And it's not like I said, do I? And I'm sorry, Jim Theo, um, does it get a little annoying sometimes with how big of a fan they are? Yeah, because sometimes they're unrealistic in who they think is a top fighter or a champion. But at the same time, you guys are fantastic fans too. So I
Hey,
mean, there's
Kelly.
nothing wrong with that.
Hey, one of the best trainers in the country is on here. Brandon Kraft, Outlaws Gym
Hell
in
yeah, Brandon, cool ass dude.
Valley. He's in Charlie's. He calls my gym a few times a year looking for sparring. Anyone 15 to 199, he says. Fucking Charlie.
Brandon, you should bring him in and just beat the shit out of him.
Brandon, hey, I'm going to beat the shit out of Brandon if you don't send us our shirts. Like he
Oh,
said. Brandon said, I'm going to send you
I
guys
keep
shirts.
forgetting to wear mine. I gotta. I'm gonna leave them here by the desk. I
What's
got
that?
my ones you got me. I gotta keep forgetting.
On your shirt?
Yeah,
What are you right now? You're wearing Casa de Putazos, right?
I gotta start putting them here on the desk.
What do you got now? Casa de Putazos right now? Are you wearing?
Yeah, this shirt fits me nice. It fits. It makes my arms and chest look bigger,
Yeah.
and surprisingly, it gets a little bigger down by the belly, and then it covers up. You know, yeah, I like it. It fits me good.
I'm wearing the Ramones.
Oh yeah. Hey, real good one here. I seen this today. Pac said he wants 40 mil to fight Crawford. Do I think he's crazy for that? That wasn't asked. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't think Pacquiao is crazy for asking 40 million. I mean, he's made that amount of money his entire career. He's older. He's at the end. I think it's a fight where definitely $40 million will be generated against him and Crawford. I think that fight would do very well. And if Manny Pacquiao wanted the 40 million, he should be able to get it in that fight. And Crawford could probably make 10 million in that fight.
True. Brandon said, I don't need his energy in my gym. Shirts on the way. Thanks, Brandon. I appreciate it, champ. We're just messing with you about the shirts. So
Yeah, James is
I always harass people.
James a ball buster.
Not with Brandon. I'm not. Brandon can fight.
I know.
Brandon Oz.
Hell yeah. Barrio goes, describe the future of combat sports. Can boxing compete with MMA 20 years from now? Absolutely. I mean, it's still competing with it, actually. I mean,
I think MMA is trying to compete with boxing right now.
yeah, it's boxing ain't ever gonna go nowhere. They've been saying that now with the UFC and MMA for the last 8 years.
Dude, Kelly, boxing's going to become like that movie Big Steel. Remember those robots fighting each other? But they're
Yeah.
both. That's what it's going to be.
Oh,
Um,
according to Elon Musk, yeah.
hey, Frank has a question, Kelly, for you. What do you think of YouTube fighters getting big fights right away?
Um, well, I haven't seen them get a big fight yet right away. So I mean, they
Well, yeah.
fought they fought basketball players and shit like that. Huh?
Mayweather got Logan Paul got Mayweather pretty quick.
Well, we'll see if it takes off. Because Mayweather's supposed to be fighting 50 Cent, I guess. Uh,
Yeah,
so I don't know. And speaking of that, Uncle Sham just asked Mayweather versus 50 Cent. Um, I don't know. I mean, again, if they want to come to boxing and get on the big cards and become a main event, and they're putting 16,000, they're helping selling out arenas, and they're
yeah.
bringing in an extra 200, 300, even 400,000 pay-per-view buys.
Right.
Listen, I don't got a problem with that. It's good for the sport. And if you think otherwise, then you're part of the problem. But I don't like the fact that they're coming out calling out other top fighters. Though I think that you should have some respect at the same time. Just because you're putting ass in these seats and you're the big draw, don't mean that you could go out and start calling out these top guys. And actually, you know what? I'm tired of them calling out a Mayweather. Hey, you know what? In all rights, they should be able to beat a Mayweather at this point, who's 44 years old. He's fought what 2 times in 8 years,
Yeah.
um, around about that. Like, and you're 35 pounds heavier than Floyd Mayweather. You know what? That's horseshit. You know, come back, fight. Call out Canelo. Call out B-Ball and Better Be. Fight
Yeah.
those guys. Quit. You know, I know I get it as business and you're going for the big fights, but if you want to stick around, and I got no problem. If you want to keep fighting NBA stars, that's cool. But when you start calling out these guys like Mayweather and shit, no. You know what? If you want to be a boxer, fight the top guys. Fight Canelo. Fight or Triple G. Fight those big guys that are your weight. Fight the 168 and 175 pounders.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Hey, Kelly. My cousin Eddie says, "Hey guys, Eddie Cuban from New Mexico. It's my cousin." Said, "Hey, how you doing, Eddie? How you doing, Primo?" Esteban says the Teixeira fight reminded me of his last Canelo fight. Castano came forward like Canelo gave Teixeira nothing to hit. When Teixeira reached for the body, he would get tagged. Weird how some fights can be microcosm of other fights. Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. And I think everybody learns something of watching it. You want to get into that fight, Kelly, Patrick, and Castano?
Yeah. Let me hit these real quick because the YouTube's kind of flowing up, and then we'll go right into it. It always annoys me, Uncle Sham. Always annoys me when people compare boxing to MMA fighters, different sports. It's like debating whether Tom Brady can beat LeBron in Game 1 of the basketball. Yeah, I get that. It is. We'll consider reading that question more closely, Uncle Sham. The goes okay right here. Goes. The Paul brothers chose you. Would you take it easy on them, or we'll try to take their heads off from round one? I would try to take their heads off because they got two hands too. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So that to Patrick Teixeira fight. Just you know what? I don't know. It just wasn't his night last night, dude. You know he lost. He lost. I gave him 2 rounds.
I
Um,
gave I gave it one round.
yeah, you know, just I talked with Roger today, and I get it, and it's hard. You can't say anything because as soon as you say something, it's excuses. But Roger said that he just felt like he couldn't do anything, like he just felt bad, and you could have that night. You really can. It happens, but like I told Roger, you just got to pick it up. You can't drag your ass anymore. You got to get back in the gym and go back to the drawing board. It's one of them type things.
I think it goes. You can't fight everybody the same way. Every opponent's different, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Last night was a perfect example of where a tall guy would have fared so much better, and that would have been a very close fight if he would have just buckled down. I'm not saying, go for a knockout, but if he would have held his ground and fought, instead of trying to
that,
move.
that's what Roger was telling him in Spanish in the corner to not back up and stand and come forward and fight him. I
Yeah,
heard um, in Spanish you were saying that come forward and fight and stop backing up because he's getting hit when he's backing up. He's getting hit. He's not getting hit coming forward, which I understood. But in no way is this an indictment on Rogers' ability as a coach. We all know he's one of the best up and young coaches in the country. I think. Um, but I really do. I think maybe Castano was the wrong fight right now. I think you know what's funny was I forgot who Castano was, but when they talked about him beating Lara, I mean, I remembered him then. Oh shit, that dude was a badass.
yeah. No, he could fight. That was a good fighter, and you know what? He's going to be trouble for anybody at that weight. He really is. Jim Theo said, "Did you see on the Warrington card, Kiko Martinez got robbed? The scorecards were an utter joke. UK getting a bit of rep now for rubbish judging for away fighters." I did not see that fight, unfortunately.
Uh, Kiara, Kiara gave a shout out to Roger, his best trainer in the world. Hey Kiara, how you doing? That's Jan. That's my homie. You know Jan Leia, Kelly. Remember Roger's roommate? How's Roger?
Oh yeah,
That's yeah, Jan Leia's on here.
don't myself what up. Um, Barrio says, "Who is Canelo's toughest challenge from 160 to 175?" Oh, Got a lot. I don't know. We're gonna go with the obvious that we say every week. I'm gonna go ahead and say you got Bivol, you got Better Beef, you got Benavidez. I really don't see anyone at 160 right now. I know, I know a lot of people out there are gonna be like, "Oh, Charlo's at 160," but I don't see anybody at 160 right now being a challenge for Canelo. But I do see 68 and I do see 75. 75, I'd really hate to quit even mentioning that right now. Let's just talk about Canelo being at 168 because I don't really see Canelo going up to 175 either.
Hey, Kelly, Darren has a question. He wants to know. He wants to know if Daniel can beat Charlo. Castano can beat Charlo. I personally think he can beat anybody on any given night in that division.
I think so. I think he has a really good chance at it. So, I think with that fight, the way Charlo fights, I think he could do good. I really do. I think it's interesting.
Hey, Ruben wants to know, Kelly, what is your take on Teofimo Lopez acting like a diva?
He's not. He won the lightweight title. Let's be honest. Do I want to see him move up to 140 right now? No. I mean, I think there's just one fight for him at 140 compared to all the names at 135. But let them start fighting.
Yeah.
Let them guys start fighting somebody. He's absolutely right. It's kind of the same at 160 with Canelo. If you wanted to be like, let's be honest, Charlo, Andrade. Let these guys start making noise. Let them be somebody where everybody really really wants to see it. Right now, everybody wants to see it because they're getting hyped up by the promoters, by the media. Do I
Yep.
think they're all talented at 135? Yes, I do. I think it's a super loaded weight class. But Tiafimo's not in the wrong really either. If he's struggling to make 135 and nobody's really wanting to come to the table and fight, go to 140.
Yep.
I don't blame him. If he's having a hard time making weight, he don't owe any of them guys or nobody anything. He went in there, he beat one of the top guys at 135. I don't see a problem with it. I really don't.
That's true. No, I agree too on that. I don't think he's
Yeah,
gonna
like I said, I would like to see him stay at 135. I mean, I think those are great matchups, but I'm not going
but
to
I
get
think
mad.
he'll outgrow the weight. I don't think he can stay 35 very long. He's getting big. He's a big kid.
Yeah, he's a big guy. Fat guys, from a technical coach point of view, How was Canelo? How was able to walk down his last opponent, who was 6'4", with subtle movement? Was Canelo doing? What was Canelo doing to scare him off?
He was
It's
he was being
hard.
productive.
Yeah, well, first of all, you touch somebody to the body and it hurts them a couple times. It may not look like they were hurt to us, the viewers, but you start hitting people and they start feeling the power. You start tapping that body, it'll get people retreating.
And no matter how hard, no matter how hard you hit, if you're staying active, guys can be forced back on his heels. And he was just a lot more active than his opponent. And that was 99% of it right there. He wasn't doing anything super exciting. He wasn't doing anything great. But there was a lot of mistakes made by Canelo's opponent that night. He was throwing a lazy jab. Canelo was doing big by working over the top of it, hitting him over the top, underneath it, throwing his right hand up the whole night.
Yeah, Uncle Sham says Smith didn't know how to put anything on Canelo without getting countered, and a lot of people don't know how to put shit on Canelo. Triple G had struggled with it, but Triple G a little bit of a better fighter. I don't think Triple G gets the credit he deserves on his technical ability, but um, Damon goes Tiafimo was huge against Lomachenko as well. He was.
Right.
He's a big guy. I mean, and Lomachenko. Come on, guys. Let's not lie. I mean, he came up two weight classes, really. So
Brian says, "What's happening, Jen? Thanks for the show." No problem, Brian. Thank you for watching. Uh, hey, Kelly. Frank says, you versus Canelo at 160. Who wins?
you broke up there. Me versus who?
Uh, you versus uh, you versus Canelo at 160. Who wins?
Ah, I want to say me. Think it'd be a great fight. Canelo's there to be hit. He really is. And again, Canelo's not a fan of people of volume punchers. I think the question is not how I would have done against Canelo. What would Canelo have done with me? How would he have fared against me? How would he have fared against somebody who would have took his shots, somebody who would fire back, 90 punches around, and on top of that with my power? I
Yeah,
guess that's the question,
that's true. Virgil Ortiz made a little hardy face on here.
Oh, Virgil Ortiz did.
Yeah, he made a little hardy eyes. Hey, Virgil, how you doing?
Oh,
Hey,
tell him I missed the segment.
pops. Hey, we call him pops, but I'm older than him.
Yeah, I'm about what same age.
I think he's older than you. I think he's 41. Kelly.
Man, he old.
I think he's about a year younger than me, and about 2 years, 3 years older than you. 3.
Yeah, that's good. I want to stay young.
Yeah. Frank says Kelly by KO. Mm. Happy Valentine's Day, Virgil.
I agree. I think ninth, 10th round is a big difference.
Virgil,
Um,
Valentine's Day, Kelly.
who was that?
Virgil said Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Tell him I said Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's
What
Day.
up?
Appreciate it. Uh, Virgil said he's 40. Okay, he's 40.
Oh, so he is close to my age.
You're older than.
Hell yeah. See, he's young. You're a young man, Virgil.
Yeah. Ruben says you'd have to fight. You had to fight Kelly like you fought Triple G, and Kelly's a big boy. Yeah, Kelly's every bit of 6'2".
But Triple G is not a volume puncher either.
No, he
And
said
they
he.
both got
I,
tired. They both got tired in the seventh and eighth round.
yeah.
Damon said another word. He's a big kid. We met him multiple times. Nothing against Lomachenko.
No, he's just a big kid.
Jim Theo says, "What's happening with Danny Jacobs? When I saw his last fight, it just didn't look up for it at all. I think Danny really hasn't looked up to it at all in his last handful of fights. Um, going back to Triple G, didn't look like anything in that fight either until he got dropped, and then he got pissed off and he made it a super close fight. I don't know. I mean, with Dan, I don't know where his heart's at. If it's something that he wants to do." I don't know. I agree though. It don't look like there's something there, and we talked about this before. There's something there with him when he fights. It's like he loses focus or like hit the drive. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Well, Kelly, now that we have Virgil here, we can talk about what the Maurice Hooker Virgil Ortiz Jr. fight because that's what we were getting into anyway today.
Hell yeah! Ask him.
All right, where do you want to start? Let's do this. Let's do this. You're the coach, right? You have Virgil Ortiz, okay? I have Maurice Hooker. All right, we're gonna break it down. We fired Pops and we fired Robert Garcia. You're now the coach of Virgil, okay?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah. And I fired Bomac, and now I got Maurice Hooker. All right. What does Virgil Ortiz need to do if you were coaching him to beat a guy like Maurice Hooker?
Virgil Ortiz needs to do exactly what he does, and with every fight. And I think Virgil's done a great job on the mixing up his punches. Virgil got the hand speed that's God given and the power. But Virgil in his last couple fights has done a great job mixing up the speed of the punches, the power behind it, the velocity of his punches. I guess to say it's like a pitcher. He's not just a fastball guy bringing the heat, powerful down the middle now. Now he's throwing the curveballs, the sliders, and I think he just needs to go into that fight with that same game plan. He has good defense, and I'm telling you, that will break down Hooker. And I think the later rounds you can look into a stoppage.
I think I think if I had Hooker, I would what I would do is I'd tell Hooker is I want Hooker to work behind the jab of his. That's what I would try to have him do. Work behind that long jab of his and the quick 1-2. I wouldn't want him going straight back because Virgil will catch him on that granny chair. If you ever see fighters when Virgil's fighting them, he'll throw a 1-2 and Virgil will come back and then hit you with like a pause and he'll hit you with that two again. I would not want Hooker to fall for that again and come back and run right into that again. So what I want him to do is and move away from no times when I want Maurice on the ropes. Not even for a second. I don't even want his back to touch the ropes. But I want movement out of Hooker. I want Virgil to work for that knockout or that win. I want Maurice Hooker to move, keep moving off the jab like he did with Romero. Stopped a little more movement. And that I think that would be his best bet, and just
He can move
box
all he wants.
Virgil
He's
Ortiz.
there. He's in there with a bad dude.
Yeah, the thing is this: you can't outpunch him, you can't outbox him. You got to do the best with what God gave you that
Yeah,
night.
you got to or make it a dog fight, one or the other.
That's what I'm saying. That's what Chassis has.
Yeah,
That's what I would do. I would say, look, you're gonna have to fight your ass off tonight because that there's nothing that you're better at. So you're just gonna have to be tougher.
yep, yeah. That's cool. That's a good breakdown. But I think my fighter is gonna end up winning though. Sorry.
Well, at least I got that 10% right.
Damon goes, yeah, right. Damon goes, is Boo Boo Andrade actually relevant because he has a strap? He doesn't have one champ or a top 10 defense on his resume. Yeah, he is. And that's because a handful of people uh, are defending or they consider him one of the top middleweights. I agree. It's hard for me because not only has he not fought really any top 10 guys, he hasn't really fought. And I went back the other day just out of curiosity, and I think it was like two fights in the last 2.5 years or something like that. So, or I might be wrong, maybe 2 years. That's just to me, it's a situation. He's not in a position where he could do that. He's a guy that should be out there fighting, and no matter who it is. And listen, if it ain't a top guy, just fight, and it gives people the idea that you really are hungry and you're fight anybody to prove it. I don't think Andrade's avoided. I think he's a good fighter, but believe me, I've seen him fight, and I don't think he's. If I was a champion, I'm going out, and he's got a pretty big name to most of the people. I'm going after him because I would feel that's a safer fight than most of the other ones out there. Not being mean, that's just the way I feel with Andrade.
Hey Kelly, Boxing Vortex says he can't allow himself. Bruce Hooker can't allow himself to get baited to Ortiz's fight. Either way, he has to work. Agreed, 100% Boxing
But
Vortex.
but Ortiz, but it's just not like Ortiz is a straight walk you down type. I mean, he does come forward and he's aggressive, but he has so many other weapons in the arsenal.
He's a, he was a fantastic boxer, and I think what happened was, and I'm not saying anything disrespectful, when Joel Diaz had Virgil, I think Joel tried to make Virgil a walk down, destroy you type guy, and I think a lot of people saw that from him earlier on what Joel was doing, but they haven't seen what since he's been gone. Not since he's been gone, but they haven't seen since he's been gone there, and he's been with his father, and he's been with Robert. He went back to be the Virgil he normally was, the boxer puncher.
Yeah, well,
Virgil can go sideways. He can go in and out. He can
that's what I'm saying. It's not like he's a one-dimensional guy. He's
go.
got speed. He's got the power. Again, the biggest thing that I was concerned about, and I talked on an interview with him about it, was for a little bit there, though, everything was like zoom, zoom, zoom. Big, hard, heavy punches, and he's mixed. He's even worked on that. His last couple fights, you can see him mixing up, changing the tempo, changing the speed on the punches. He was throwing change up and curveballs in there, just not all heaters. That's a big part of it.
Um, yeah, here says, "What's up, guys? What's up, bro? How you doing?" Um, Virgil for the Benjamin Renteria says Virgil for the win in later rounds. Ruben has a good question, Kelly. Let me
Yeah,
get it. I don't like to mention. I don't click other videos because I hate my click. But I'm curious, what is your take on YouTubers? And I won't mention their names in boxing. Which YouTubers are you talking about? The YouTube boxing channels, the YouTubers that want to start the box? Because the YouTube stuff, you know what? Here's my thing on it. I'm not as against it as Lar Ruben because a lot of those YouTube stars bring a whole new audience for that's never been around boxing. Like my daughters, they've been around boxing their whole life, but they've never liked it too much. But since these YouTubers started watching fighting, they start watching the fights more. Now they know Ryan Garcia. They know a lot of these other fighters now. They know Herring. They know Garcia. They know a lot of these young fighters because they've been exposed because of these YouTube stars.
no.
I,
Fat.
The thing.
Lazy Girl said Ghost had an underrated left hook to the body. That's not talked about often. That I think would surprise Canelo. I think so too. And Damon says, does Hooker really have a shot at winning this? You guys think Bomac has made enough difference with Hooker? Um, I don't. I mean, Bomac's a great trainer. Not knocking that. He's one of the top trainers in boxing, and he has one of the top guys pound for pound. But I just think it's a little different. He hasn't been with Hooker that long. You know what I mean?
Taking blame for
A guy like Virgil, you're not gonna. You need some time. I don't know. Again, this.
the one thing that people with Bomac can promise you right now is he'll be in great shape. All Bomac's guys are in great shape. All of them. So I can promise that Virgil's going to have a guy that's in great shape that night.
Yep.
But Esteban says, rest in peace, Leon Speaks. That's true. We forgot even to mention Leon Speaks, who we just passed away last week.
Horrible.
Have you met him before, Kelly?
I got a picture sitting right next to him.
I
I
never.
used to put it up. I don't like doing that. But it was yeah, at the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I never met him before.
Yeah, really nice guy.
Buddy.
Yeah.
We got to have our little 10 mil count, huh?
What's that?
We got to have our 10 mil count. You know, like a mini boxing belt. If somebody passes away, we got to have a 10 mil count.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for one on Amazon, a mini boxing belt.
You could get one. David said if Tiafimo moves up to 140, does he beat Josh Taylor?
No. I don't think Taylor beats Tiafimo. Tiafimo's a monster.
Yeah, I don't think he beats Tiafimo. I think Tiafimo could be something to mess with. Where I'll start worrying with Tiafimo is when he jumps to 147. Now it's on a level playing field.
I don't know, Kelly. What if at 140, Tiafimo and Mikey Garcia at 140?
Yeah, but we don't know what Mikey's going to do.
Mikey 5 again. He made that clear.
What's that?
Mikey's not flying at 35 ever again.
Well, yeah, no, I really don't see him at this point of his career going back down to 140. Look, the feeling I get from Mikey is this:
Yeah.
he's got an exit plan. He's been wanting that exit plan for some time now.
Yeah.
He's made great money against the likes of Earl Spence and Vargas. Um, I I don't think because I don't think the money will be there like it was for Spence either. I just don't see him going through a huge fucking weight loss or weight cut to fight a monster like Tiafimo at 140.
It could be there for
Money,
Pacquiao, though.
huh?
He could be fighting Manny Pacquiao.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't think it generates at the age to fight Pacquiao or any of that. So
Yeah.
I mean, Mikey Garcia. I don't see Mikey Garcia really because we don't know where Mikey wants to go out anyways. If he's staying at welterweight, Mikey's getting older. I don't know if he's looking for those big money fights. Um, Again, I don't know how much money would be behind Tiafimo. Maybe it would generate a shitload.
Right.
Maybe it would have to be something that's well worth it for Mikey to go back to 140, do the weight loss against a dangerous opponent like Tiafimo.
True. I'm over here pulling this new tab up over here for the stupid like what happens is all of my comments they disappear. They only get so much they disappear. What I'm trying to find out is how to pull the comments all up so I can see them all because I'm missing. I know that.
Will Pacquiao's WBA strap be up for grabs if he's fighting Mikey? And where does that put Mikey at the 147-pound mix if he wins? I mean, well, that'll be Mikey's third fight at 147?
Isn't he already the 140-pound 7 mix?
Yeah, that's what I thought. No, I don't know if he's in the mix. I don't think with the win over Jesse, because I don't know where Jesse was at in that mix. But yeah, if he beats Pacquiao,
It's politics, though.
wait, he says strap for grabs, and if he's fighting Mikey, and where does that? Well, Pacquiao's WBA be up sure. I don't know. I mean, again, if that's Mikey's third fight at 147 and he fights Pacquiao, and
Yeah.
Mikey wins, then you're definitely talking about him being a huge factor at 147. again, I think this is more of a business thing for Mikey. He's smart as hell, but I don't know how that would work. I would imagine Pacquiao's WBA would be up because again, Mikey's already this would be Mikey's third fight at 47, so I guess you could consider Mikey a welterweight. Um,
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, those are good questions. I mean, they're hard to answer because I guess it goes off opinion on that one.
Those are fantastic questions.
Yeah,
Some of these questions that we get are stuff that we've never thought of either, which are a good thing because, like I said, sometimes these are things that I don't think of, or I know either one of us think why the show's good is because people bring up questions or bring up statements that I haven't thought of yet.
yeah, that was Damian Martinez. Martinez.
Even Ruben's coming up with some good questions today.
Yeah,
I know, right?
trying to think what other fight was there this weekend? There was who was some of the co-main or not the co-main?
Well, we had that Russian kid. Remember he fought that Russian kid, and he fought the kid from Pittsburgh. What was your kid's name from Pittsburgh here?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was Anthony something or I can't remember.
No, well, he
I know
was
what you're talking about.
he was
He
on
gets
the
beat up. That kid's tough, man. That what was their names?
Morgan Finch.
Yeah, Morgan Fitch got beat.
Yeah, Morgan Finch. He's from Pittsburgh. Or it was from Sharon, I think. But yeah, he was on. Wasn't he on Contender? Right? Morgan
Yeah,
was.
yeah, he was. Yeah, he fought the bully. That kid's tough, man. That kid's going to be hard because the kid that Morgan Fitch fought, he threw punches from weird angles and he's fast. He hits hard. The only thing is, when he makes that big step, sometimes coming in like that though is going to get him caught.
Right.
Different that goes to the different levels. The bully. Um, you could get away with some of that shit against the guys like Morgan Fitch and them, but when you start getting up higher into the
Yeah.
championship level, you better find a different way to bring those to mix those punches up because
Thank you.
that's not going to cut it.
Hey, Kelly. Tony said it was Beck the bully, Beck the mirror.
Yeah,
That
McNamara.
that dude. So, he didn't look like he was anything technically, did he? But he
Well,
fucking hard.
no, he's kind of chubby. He don't look fit, but the dude, he's got quick feet. He's got fast hands. But again, what I'm saying, he throws a lot of shit when he goes to the body. And this ain't the first time I've seen him do it. He goes to the body, his chin's in the air because he does do a good job making like confusing you and mixing it up. But then
Yeah.
he'll also throw shots to the body, and somebody's going to take that, and somebody's going to catch him right there on the button. I don't think that style is going to against top level guys. I don't think the style is going to make it.
Not with the hands down, the elbows flared out. You're gonna get caught eventually.
Yeah. Here's a good one. If Benavidez moves up to 175, does he beat Betterbeef?
I think it's possible.
I do too. But Betterbeef's strong dude. But you know what?
Better beef shows he can be hurt.
Yeah, but Benavidez showed that he's also used to dealing with big, strong guys and the height. Benavidez may actually do better. Benavidez may be strong as hell at
Yeah,
175.
remember the Callum Smith had better beef knocked down 2 or 3 times when they fought. What do you think a guy like Benavidez who can crack with either hand could do to him?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Benavidez is big. He may actually be stronger at 75 than he is at 68, if you think about it. Because he cuts a lot, it's hard to make 168. So he might even be more of a factor at 75.
And Kelly Tony said Beckmanier was supposed to fight Kovalev. Who would have won in their opinion? I would have went with Beckmanier winning, but Kovalev tested positive for steroids. Kovalev, he's just one of those guys that never learns. He could.
Well, how long ago was that fight supposed to take place?
A couple weeks ago, they were supposed to, and he kind of filled in 5 weeks ago, something like that.
I think Kovalev. To be honest with you, I don't think Kovalev's issue anymore at 75. I really don't. I mean, he has the power to still maybe upset somebody, but I don't. I don't think. I think his days is past.
Uh, Ruben said, you and Benavidez had a good session I caught on YouTube. Talk about that experience, Kelly.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it was clips. The clips were put on there, but Benavidez could fight.
He was
I was the only one he was sparring. He was sparring a lot of them guys, and that just goes to show you how good this kid is. If he's able to spar contenders and champions at that age,
yeah.
it goes to show you the type of fighter that he is and talent that he has.
Was he about 230 when you sparred?
Yeah, probably bigger than that, but still, he was young, and to be 235, he was fast. The
Yeah.
kid can fight. He's just a really good fighter, and that's why I say I think that he would actually fare. He might fare better at 175. I think he'll still be the tallest light heavyweight out there, but I
Yeah.
think he'll be much stronger because I don't think the weight cut will be nowhere near as bad.
Um, it said right here. Yeah, we talked about Laura and over Warrington. Yeah, we talked about it. We like we said. Like I said, we were not surprised over that. Um,
How about Warrington? Yeah, I keep Warrington's performance. So again, on that one, Dave was asking about Warrington's performance. I seen the highlights. That was it, and from what I seen, I don't know. It was all right.
you know what though? I can see that Laura could crack early in the beginning of the fight. I saw he could hit, and I was like, why is Warrington still fighting down that way? Still coming forward? Walk this guy down with a guy can punch like this. And I told myself, I said it's a matter of time he's going to catch Warrington. He's going to knock him out.
I mean, my thing is what I didn't pay much attention to it, but I mean, what was how big was Warrington favored? I mean, how good is Warrington overall?
Well, I don't know. The UK had him the next greatest thing to fucking,
Of
that,
course,
that next greatest thing to dental care. You know what I mean?
of course, they're going to.
Um, oh yeah, and they also brought up about Castano steamrolling Tex. And what do we think? Well, like I said, Castano did a great job. Even negative, I can say. He did what he was supposed to. I don't think it's a knock on either one of them. But I think Castano could fight anybody in the 1 division and hold his own.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think he could be champion. I really do right now. I think the biggest test for him and the toughest fight was who he fought last night in Patrick.
Um, Great writer, fantastic writer, guys. If you guys ever get a hold of his writing or his page, go out there. Das Khan knows what he's talking about when it comes to boxing. Kovalev is a desperate man at this. He would have got steamrolled by Lara. I agree. Warrington was a 15-1 favorite. I said.
Um, I think we're going to get ready to wrap up here in 2 minutes. It's
All
getting
right. Hey, we got another one. He said, somebody just said, I don't know where that just went, but they just said that Beater would steamroll Benavides, which I don't see that happening at all. I see Benavides winning that.
yeah. Benavidez again. My opinion with Benavidez, the higher up he goes, up to about I would say probably maybe even cruiserweight, but 175, Benavidez is still going to be big, and he's going to be stronger at that weight because
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be cutting as hard. I think Benavidez gets better the higher he goes. Actually,
Um, Kaiser says, Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Kaiser. Benjamin says, Castano versus Little Charlo. Right now, Kelly, I don't know. It's a toss up. That's a 50-50 fight for Castano and Charlo.
that's what I said. I mean, I could actually, after seeing Charlo's performance at that, I could actually go with Costanzo. I really can. I mean, it's a good fight. I wouldn't bet that one right now. I would still like to see
Right?
Charlo fight again at that weight, but I don't know, man. It's a close one. That'd be a hell of a fight. That'd be a good one. I mean, it's not a for sure winner for either guy.
Yep. Hey, guys, if anybody here is going to Fort Worth, Dallas for the Hooker fight and the Virgil Ortiz fight, uh, there's a good possibility we're going to be there for that fight. So even with the COVID rule or something, if we see you there, just say hi or whatever. We'll be happy to say hi, or Kelly will be happy to say hi to you guys if we see you at the fight. If you guys are going, so, but we're probably going to be there, depending on how they're doing the credentialing this year.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we gotta check how they're doing that credentialing.
Yep. But listen, guys, it was a good show. We answered what we could. Go subscribe and share and like
Like,
on YouTube. And we will be back. We're back on Sundays now, 7
yeah.
o'clock. So,
Hey, thank you, Esteban. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, Dax, Benjamin, everybody for tuning in today. I appreciate it over here on Facebook. Thank you. You guys are the ones that make this show.
yep, we'll see you guys next week.
Net week.